for this week's report. Blue Hawks play-by-play announcer graduates. Exeter's role in the Battle of Bunker Hill. Exeter summer concerts return. And the legacy of Master Potter Roger Cramer. For Exeter TV, I'm Gabe Perez, and this is the Exeter Biweekly Report. Let's get started. Good afternoon, Exeter. Thanks for tuning into the show today. If you haven't already, hit the subscribe button and like this video to help spread the word about the show and all things Exeter. For the first segment, we took a trip over to the high school to catch up with the inaugural student play-by-play announcer for Blue Hawk Media sports coverage, Kyle Vivenzio. The Exeter High School class of 2025 takes their seats for what will be the final day as students. For many, this is a time of change, a transfer of responsibilities and drive. Whether it's to head off to college, explore the world, or, as is the case for one particular graduee, pursue a career in something they discovered a love for thanks to one chance given to him. Meet Kyle Vivenzio.
All right, let's do this. All right, folks, welcome back to Blue Hawk Media. It has been a while, to say the least. I mean, we've had cancellations, rain delays, we had an award ceremony, and then I got real sick. But we're finally here with Bishop Girton facing off against the Blue Hawks. The Blue Hawks have had a 4-game slide recently, I believe it is. Started with Pinkerton, so now we are 13-5, 5-game slide. And Bishop Girton is 11-7 coming into this, so we'll see how it goes here. You got your starting lineup
For some, just another student roaming the halls of EHS. But for others, he is the voice they hear at every Exeter Blue Hawks baseball game.
that one. Same location there. A little bit of a iffy call, I'd say, on one of those runs, but what can I do? I'm the broadcaster. Let's pitch to him. It's gonna be another walk. It's gonna load the bases once more. Now do up his Geiger. He had a single last time he was up.
I'm Eric Chellis. I am the cable coordinator for Blue Hawk Media for Exeter High School. I was looking, when I started a couple years ago, I was looking for commentators for pretty much any of the sports teams. Mostly I was just looking for staff at that point. Put an email out to the staff, somehow it became a all-school announcement, and Kyle reached out to me and said he was interested in calling baseball. So took a chance, figured, see where this goes. And it turned out to be the best thing.
I overheard it on the announcements, and they said they needed teachers to do it, and I said, I'm gonna do that anyway. So I reached out and he said, sure. I've been the lead broadcaster for, I wanna say 3 years now. Sophomore year I started this, so I've been working on that and been calling games for all that time, hockey, baseball, and softball mostly.
When I first met Kyle, he was really shy, really quiet, kind of new to calling games, that wasn't sure how to do it, how to tell the story. Because being a broadcaster, especially for baseball, you have to be able to tell a story.
Then it was just play-by-play. Here's the ball, it's in the strike zone or it misses. That's all I did there. And then junior year, we took it to an ELO and I really focused on refining skills and figuring out what works, what doesn't. I went and shadowed Bob Littman at Manchester for the Fisher Cats, and he gave me the best piece of advice, and that's steal others' ideas and make them your own. So that's what I've kind of done. I've taken strategies from Will Fleming and Joe Castiglione, and I've kind of turned them my own that way.
Really brought him out of his elements or brought him out and made him a better broadcaster and working over it for the past 3 years. He's come a long way in the past 3 years.
Kyle's aspirations were not so much of a fluke, but a product of his environment. Growing up alongside now Exeter Blue Hawks junior second baseman John Backer, the two grew up loving baseball together.
Me and Kyle have been friends for a long time, basically since birth. Our parents worked together. We've been friends since as long as I can remember. I love just having him there, and if I'm having a rough game, I can look over and he's always smiling and stuff, so it's really good.
Now, as Kyle attends his final days in Exeter High, with plans of a career, driven by reaching out to his school's sports station.
I'm kind of nervous, actually, you know, and it's the next big step in my life. So in college, I'm gonna try and get into something with it. My college has a radio station and they do this already, so I'm gonna go ask if I can join that maybe.
With Kyle leaving, a vacuum has appeared in Blue Hawk Media's sports.
I have had a 8th grader reach out to me already that is interested in kind of filling his shoes. So hopefully he can step up. Granted, they're big because Kyle's been the inaugural student to call any game here. You know, anybody that comes in behind him is going to be a big shoe to fill. But Kyle's really stepped up, and you know, I know there's going to be kids down the road that are going to, you know, step up as well and do just as good as Kyle. I mean, I just wish him luck. You know, it was fun to see him, you know, decide just based on, you know, deciding to do broadcasting for Blue Hawk Media and calling baseball games, to turn it into a career and really follow his passion. So I'm excited to see where he goes, and I hope to see him on ESPN or Nesson, you know, calling a Red Sox game, you know, and to be able to say, hey, that kid went to Exeter High School and he started his career calling baseball games for Exeter. So I hope to see him.
From a risk-taken sophomore year to a career laid out in front of him, Kyle, degree in hand, can turn his tassel and celebrate the years ahead in what is assuredly a great career in sports broadcasting.
Do what you love. You know, it's what you want to do with your life. I think that life should be enjoyed and not boring.
America celebrates its 250th birthday next year, and the town is gearing up to join in. This week marked the 250th anniversary of the Battle of Bunker Hill. In our next segment, the Exeter chapter of the Daughters of the American Revolution tells us how Exeter is connected to this historic battle.
Have you ever been walking on Swayze Parkway and noticed this sign? The Exeter DAR, Daughters of the American Revolution, put this sign here many generations ago. It points across the river to a very historical spot, the Powder House. This powder house was built in 1771. It is one of the oldest in New Hampshire. You can read more about it in the book Historical Powder Houses of New England.
The gardens around the Powder House have been taken care of by the Exeter Rotary for many, many years, and the people of Exeter have kept the structure in good repair.
It was 250 years ago this June that the Battle of Bunker Hill was fought. New Hampshire sent 900 men, adding to the smaller contingents from Massachusetts and Connecticut. Even though this battle was only an hour and a half long and we lost it, it was a pivotal moment in American history.
But let us back up to 6 months before that battle. New Hampshire men stole 100 barrels of gunpowder from Fort William and Mary in Portsmouth Harbor. It was split up and stashed in various houses outside Portsmouth. A large chunk of that powder came here to Exeter.
Some of that powder was carried to Bunker Hill by the Exeter men who fought. Later, after the official Declaration of Independence, when Exeter became the capital of New Hampshire, many more barrels of ammunition were stored in this very powder house. This little powder house is an icon in United States history.
The 250th anniversary of the signing of the Declaration of Independence is coming up on July 4th, 2026. The town of Exeter, the American Independence Museum, the Exeter Historical Society, and the Exeter Daughters of the American Revolution are all making plans to help you celebrate America 250. Check for updated information on the Town of Exeter calendar page.
America 250.
Summer is here and the concerts are back. Dan Monchek has all the info you need to know to have a musical time in Exeter.
Summer is finally here, which means the Exeter Music Vibe Series is bringing live music to the area. Starting at 6 p.m. on June 24th, Tune and Fork Tuesday concerts will be held at Townhouse Common. But wait, there's more. Summer concerts at Swayze Parkway are also coming back.
I'll play one for the dancer, so sweet, smooth sway.
The first concert will be held on Thursday, June 26th at 6 p.m. Both these concerts will continue to be held on Tuesdays and Thursdays all summer long.
The original concert on Swayze Park has been there forever. Doug Dicey, the former director, started it 30 years ago. And it's really morphed. Once COVID hit, we discovered that people wanted more entertainment outside. So what we did is we developed the Tune and Fork series to highlight the music variety in town.
The concerts will feature a wide variety of musicians local to the Exeter area. But wait, there's even more. Just around the corner, starting on Monday, June 30th at 7:30 p.m. and every Monday night in July, the Exeter Brass Band will be performing at the bandstand. You can come down to see this time-honored tradition that has been taking place since 1847. Whether you're into rock, country, classical, or hip-hop music, there's a concert for you this summer right here in downtown Exeter. For more information about these concerts, you can head over to the town website at exeternh.gov.
And for our last segment, we attend a reception at Exeter Fine Crafts honoring the life's work of instructor and master potter Roger Cramer. Right in the heart of Exeter's downtown Water Street is Exeter Fine Crafts, a small shop that helps local artists sell their art to folks interested in their work. On June 7th, Exeter Fine Crafts hosted a presentation for their in-house master potter, Roger Cramer. A previous clergyman, now a man who has honed and refined his craft and love of pottery for decades. Roger was asked by Lori and Ward Dillmore of Exeter Fine Crafts if he was willing to give a presentation at the store.
A friend of mine had asked me to do an exhibit of my work. In the course of putting it together, I began to think of all of my work from beginning to where we are now. And hey, how about a retrospective? So it was with that then that I came to Lori and Ward and talked to them about doing it here. So it's a perfect place to see all of those iterations of what I have done with clay.
Prepped and ready, Roger was given a steady warning.
Lori and Ward had been cautioning me for my expectations about how many people were going to come, because they have had similar things to this, and it's been within the 15 to 12 number of people. When Saturday came and more people came, it was surprising. There were 75 people, I was told, and that was a very large number. You know, when I look out there and I know all of the people quite well, and some of them I know very well. Some of them came from the different parishes that I've been in. So these are people that I've known for maybe 50 years. And so I might have buried members of their family, married other members. Here I am at the podium looking out, which is the position that the priest always has when the sermon is about to be given. And I was so certain not to have this be a church affair, but it still had the quality of that, and a huge group, and so many folks that I knew. So it was great.
Roger's presentation told the beginning of his love for pottery, describing the people who inspired him, the methods he'd learned to love, and why he continues to create to this day. Those in attendance, so abundant that most could not be reasonably seated, were able to engage in Roger's work, interacting with his art, including holding his first ever pot, or being introduced to personal favorites of his. Two attendees in the crowd were Roger's former students turned pottery instructors, Debbie and Linda, who have integrated themselves into Roger's workshop.
He encourages people to talk with each other about their work and collaborate. He loves clay. He loves clay, and it comes out of his pores, the love that he has for clay and creativity and being with people and fostering community.
I was so happy. I was so happy for him. I don't know if people appreciate how hard it is to put yourself out there. Even now, making pots, people are going to have opinions about that pot. But for him to put himself out there for this retrospective and have no idea how many people were going to be able to come, or be interested in coming and hearing about his journey as a potter. And so, yeah, I was very happy for him, and it was a great night.
Because it reminds me that we're all in this thing together, aren't we? And one day we will all be this body, right, rising. That's what the resurrection is about, is being taken up. And
Reception was nothing short but positive to Roger, leaving not only those in attendance impacted by Roger himself.
many of these people have been to my studio and have bought pottery and have continued to have a connection with me even in my new life as a potter. I was really overwhelmed at having so many of them come and be with me on that day. And of course the love of these folks, it really, in a way they carry me in their hearts, you know. And even in parishes where I am not the pastor or no longer the pastor, they still want to connect with me. People ask me on Saturday, was this a retrospective from beginning to end, that this was really the end of your work? And no, that's the last thing that I wanted, you know. So my work all goes on, and it's good.
That does it for this week's report. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to help us spread the word. Head over to the town website and subscribe to the town email newsletter to get this show and other local news sent straight to your inbox. We'll be back on July 3rd for the next edition of the show. For Exeter TV, I'm Gabe Perez, and this has been the Exeter Biweekly Report. Have a great weekend, Exeter.